For decades, Americans have been deeply concerned about the denial of basic human rights for the Burmese people. The persecution of democratic reformers, the brutality shown towards ethnic minorities, and the concentration of power in the hands of a few military leaders has challenged our conscience and isolated Burma from the United States and much of the world. However, we have always had a profound respect for the people of Burma and the promise of their country, a country with a rich history, at the crossroads of East and West, a people with a quiet dignity and extraordinary potential. If it seizes this moment, then reconciliation can prevail, and millions of people may get the chance to live with a greater measure of freedom, prosperity, and dignity.
In March 2011, Myanmar's new president, U Thein Sein, took office. After nearly 2 decades of diplomatic isolation, his first steps were to restore the country's dysfunctional economy and normalize Myanmar's relations with the rest of the world.
We now see the dawn. We should walk to the day. We should go to the task. And we shouldn't go to the dark. We must accept the change. According to Deng Xiaoping's words, we must open the window. There must be the flies coming into the room. This is our duty to expel these all bees or insects. This is our duty.
Despite years of hardship, the mood on the streets is optimistic. The people feel the change, especially in the capital, Rangoon.
Rangoon is totally different, I have to say. Now the government is changed, everything is, I have to say, much improvement. All change.
I had the opportunity in Bagan in 2005 December to meet General Thein Sein, and I like that very much, what he has done since in April 2011, in his first speeches, where the whole world said that will never be possible in Myanmar and not for a long time. And then within the last 6 months, the President Thein Sein is implementing changes and developments in Myanmar. Many things happened slowly or it happened late, because people did not believe that is true.
President Thein has taken a series of choreographed steps towards liberalization, including the release of hundreds of political prisoners. While many applauded the process, there are some who wonder how permanent this change will be.
I mean, he wouldn't venture on this kind of endeavor. The president would have to at least have some idea about whether people around him will support him, the government will support him, or the military will not be in the way. So I think he had done his homework, the president has done his homework, and then he is responding to the wishes of the people in a way he could under the constraints of the constitution and style of government that has been quite familiar for the past 40 years.
President U Thein Sein is a very smart guy, and according to the recent condition, I don't want any hero. I just want a statesman who want to build our country, who want to build the improvement of our peoples. So no hero, I just want a statesman who sacrifice their life for our country. We want that kinds of the people. We don't want heroes.
But Myanmar does have its heroes. Aung San Suu Kyi is perhaps the most famous of all the political prisoners. After 15 years of house arrest, she has stepped back into the political arena and continues to work towards a free and democratic Myanmar.
Well, Aung San Suu Kyi is a remarkable person because people have written of her in the last decade, and she came back. Of course, you cannot do alone. There must be a receptive political atmosphere for her to be positive and to be cooperating with the stakeholders. So Aung San Suu Kyi's role has been highlighted again.
We are going to see signs of real change very soon. There has been a lot of talk about change, but people always want to see something concrete, and they're right too. Talk is never enough. But at least it's a beginning, and I think we are beginning to see the beginning of change.
And now this is changing, where we can see through the ministries very free guidelines are. For our doctor teams, we had to ask through the Army Command, through Defense, if we can go up country, rural areas. In May already the minister told us no more red tape, no more up to bottom, bottom to up. They say you are in charge, you decide, don't ask me, but let me know, you are responsible. And I think that is what is a very good approach for Myanmar people, because over 40 years they were not allowed to be in charge.
As these changes slowly become reality, there are those who are afraid their values, traditions, and very way of life will be eroded. To them, change is something to be feared, not embraced.
I accept the change is coming, and accept. But some conservative in our country, they don't want to see some changes. They think we will lost our tradition. I think it's nonsense.
Speaking from my personal emotional kind of attachment, I still want the kind of atmosphere of friendliness, even to strangers, and then this culture of laid-back kind of having a good time together, and this culture of the tea shop. I still think that it's useful in a way of not only letting off steam, but also it's useful for this socialization, and it's become part of the national resilience, if I may venture that far.
We must accept the change. We must stand firmly on my tradition. We must stand firmly on our spirit, our ethic. But we must accept the change in culture or politics or any kinds of changes.
Reconciliation will be another challenge. Will Myanmar be able to unite and move forward together without the baggage of the past?
The reconciliation bit is sometimes the most difficult of all, because both sides have to be prepared to compromise and to give, not just take. And give and take is such a mutual process that we need to find the right balance. So we are at a very difficult stage. At the same time, as I've always said, I'm a cautious optimist, and I'm optimistic that we're going forward and that we will be able to get onto the road towards true national reconciliation, which is essential if our country is to be the kind of country we all want it to be.
Once we agree and say, okay, this is our national definition, and we all agree, that's fine. I think we have gone beyond the stage where we want to delegitimize symbolically one party or the one group or the other. After all, what is in the name? In Buddhism, these are all non-permanent kind of truths, which are relative truths. So why should we be so concerned about it now? And maybe we should start talking about more positive things than arguing about the word Myanmar and Burma and things. Of course, the official name, you want to change it in the constitution? Well, it's up to you guys. You want to change the flag? Fine. But I don't like changing for the sake of changing too much.
We know that it's the people of Burma who have to do the real work in this country. But the help of our friends abroad mean a great deal, because after all, we cannot be cut off from the rest of the world. Change that is coming from the people. That's the best and most reliable kind of change.
If we united, we can do everything. Our Burmese people should be patient. Every people, every government, every political leaders, every politician, every people in our country, we should hand in hand go and walk to the day, not backward to the dark.